College, just outside Cambridge, and this is our teacher, Mr. Steve Grew.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello. So what we're going to do, there's a number of things to do, but we're going to take the opportunity when we're here to have a group photograph of absolutely everybody, and the Spanish team have brought across a nice banner which we used to take some photographs over at Linton College. So that's the boot in my car, time to go out shortly and get that. We are hoping the press will come, but you know, the press is like if there's a bigger story somewhere else it won't turn up. So that might be happening. But we'll sort that out when we come. But what we're going to do shortly is the Linton team are going to tell us about their project, and they're going to give us a demo on their wind tunnel which was built in school, and then we'll do those photographs and a chance for everyone to talk together, and then we need to sort of, before we leave, sort out what our arrangements are for tomorrow as well, and just to remind all the adults that we're meeting at 7:30 at the Eagle, including the two Cambridge teachers as well.
I'm asking this to
And that's at 7:30. Okay. Now I have certificates, and I was printing them out today, and last night at Coffins, and then this morning printed stock. So I've got certificates for some people, but I don't have them all. So what I'll do is, after this, I'm going to go back and print out the rest of the certificates and the signing the list and print out either. But we'll get that all done, and that'll come along to the 7:30 tonight at the Eagle for the adults. Now when Steve comes back, when your teacher comes back, I'm sure he doesn't allow you to come and see, but when he comes back, when Mr. Groom comes back, we'll formally start and do this. Anybody else want to say anything? So over to you then, Steve.
Yeah, well, these guys come up with this project. It's based on a wind tunnel, a series of experiments, because we said about doing some sort of project, and we looked at different projects, and this wind tunnel was made by a previous technician with some students. It's a homemade one, and so they wanted to do some experiments. Their idea to do some experiments with that on wing profiles and with aileron designs, and see how much lift it will generate, how much pressure with different wing profiles. Now, they've sort of gone down a route of experimenting, and it's sort of a bit trial and error, hasn't it, boys? Yeah, been a bit trial and error. And some things I can see that's not going to work, but I've sort of stood back and they've sort of problem solved how we've gone along with different ideas. I've just left it up to them. So it's sort of a bit like a journey of rediscovery. It's almost like what went on I imagine went on in the aircraft industry in the 1940s, but with some different modern bits of technology. So, do you want to say anything about? Would you like to explain anything about the way how you started, and or do you want me to do all the talking? George, do you want to say anything about?
So we started off with this design for our aerofoils, but quickly realised that didn't quite work because a lot of the edges went around the edges, and also measuring it with the track wasn't very accurate.
Do you want to bring it over here, George? What was the problem with this, George?
The air just went around the sides, so we didn't get very much lift generated from it.
So you made this rig up, and then not only did you get enough lift, you was out to try and find where the angle was of tack.
Yeah, we couldn't change the angle. We had no way of, once it was in the wind tunnel, we couldn't access it, so we couldn't change the angle at all.
And what was the problem when you was with the airflow, when you got the smoke going out? What is it you discovered then with the angle of tack? To find out where the stall position was when it starts to turbulate. That means obviously when an aircraft, you keep on climbing, it gets to the point where it stalls. It's what they want to find out, and it would just drop out the sky. So they want to find out where the stall position was. What was the problem with this setup?
It just didn't work with not having the full width of the wind tunnel, and we couldn't find the right angle because we couldn't control the angle of it. So we couldn't find out.
Because the air was going around the side, wasn't it? And what was the other problem you soon realised with the setup as well, around with the pressure?
Yeah, we couldn't measure how much lift it was producing because it's not attached to any scales or any force meters. So we had no idea once it was in there, again, how much lift it was producing.
So, is there any chance of showing that earlier video which where you was experimenting? Not the recent one, you know, the one you just had on a moment ago?
Oh yeah, the original video.
I
can show that
Yeah. We've taken some film recently, hopefully we might be able to show that towards the end.
This is like an introduction video
Yeah.
to the whole project.
This is when they first started.
Hi, I'm George.
I'm Giles.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Dan.
We're one of the UK teams, Linton Village College. Now we're at Salisbury, and then there are 4 teams of them.
STEM engineering. This is our wind tunnel which the school technician made at school. This is where we will test our aerofoils. This is our main area of research.
We are very excited to share our ideas and work with children in Spain, Finland, Budapest and to see their work.
We chose this project because we want to experiment how aerofoils work and make interested in how different designs affect lift. We meet at lunchtimes at least once a week.
So are you ready to show some testing?
Yeah.
Do some testing?
Oh wait, we'll do the timeline first. We'll come up with a better timeline here that just goes through it.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So here are some of the initial drawings that we did. We were looking at the different basic wind profiles that had been come up with around the 1930s and 20s when aerodynamics were really developing. And we tried to come up with some wind profiles that would be able to display differences between the airflow that made them faster or slower. So we realised quickly that we need a way to see the speed that was being produced, and we started off trying to use some basic tools like this, which just wasn't enough because the accuracy that was needed to be a lot more accurate, and this just wasn't working. So we got this tool, which means that we can measure the speed of it a lot faster and quicker, so that we can clearly see what the speeds are that are being produced. Here are some of the second stage of developing of the profiles, and as you can see, this isn't the full span of the wind tunnel, which was one of the problems, as George mentioned, that we were seeing, is because the smoke would just start going round, so we weren't able to properly capture the flow of it.
Yeah, so the first way we thought of dispensing the smoke was to put it in a reservoir in the jar and then drilled out holes into a piece of a bar of steel where the smoke would come out in lots of lines so you can see it go around the aerofoil. But that didn't work because the smoke didn't build up enough pressure to push it through the hose and out here into the wind tunnel. So then we made the second generation of the wings. The second generation, making wider as they fill up the whole wind tunnel, and also experimenting with different designs. So we've got a flat one just as the control variable, so we know how aerofoil design affects the wind tunnel.
These were my vague attempt at scroll sawing, which didn't go very well because the tape started to come removed and it was just going all over the place, so I ended up giving that one. So then we finally came up with a third design, which would allow us to adjust the angle of attack without having to put our hands in, well, hopefully, to change it, and that meant that we could measure on the back plate, which you'll see when you come up closer to it, what the angle actually was as it was sat in the in the actual tunnel.
So once we've got these designs, we're going to attach a bar to the bracket underneath and then put it through a hole in the bottom into a weight so we can measure how much lift is generated. So we started off with a steel bar and an aluminium plate, arrowlighted on, but me and myself kept breaking it. So we changed to a steel plate, which we then brazed onto the bar, which is a lot stronger, a lot more reliable. We also tried it with wood, but again, it just wasn't strong enough, it kept snapping.
So with the smoke, we found that one of the most effective ways was to get it in as far as possible so that it would allow you to clearly see the difference between the smoke and the flow going over, so you can see the stalling point, which on some of the profiles we haven't actually been able to see because the angle of attack is just too high up. So what we do is we hold it in about halfway through, just before it hits the actual chamber, and then you'll see the flow from there. So I think now we should be ready to demonstrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you'll see the store position. I'm going to go and get some couple of torches put on top. So there's a lot of pressure going on, so they're measuring the, they're going to explain the force on there, so you're going to see it buffeting and all that. So different. Do you want me to get the, while you're doing the smoke, do you want me to put a couple of LED torches out? They might be a bit more visible. I'll just quickly get those then. I'll come around this way.
George, you want to do the string?
Go around the other side, way back.
He's coming out, it's coming out.
Right, this might make it a bit more obvious.
We try.
Yeah.
A lot of it's improvisation, which is right. Over to you guys.
Alrighty.
Yep, go for it. Yeah, it was a bit loose on time. Yeah, so as you can see, it does go wrong quite a bit. It's a bit of a learning curve.
We used to have a problem where we hadn't got this properly fastened in there, so the actual air would just go right into the fan.
Yeah.
It was big enough not to get
So what's the speed you measured in there?
Yeah, so in the middle we've got a speed of 12 metres per second. It was 13 at the back and, 11 at the front,
Yeah,
and it sped up to 13 by the end, so 12 in the middle. Yeah.
So you want to just try a different profile, just tighten it up,
Yeah.
maybe an
You don't
optimal
have to
angle.
adjust it as much. Let's see that. Yeah, there you go.
Slightly should I take it takes ages to change.
Some other
Which one does?
This one should work better. Just tighten it up a bit more.
I will tighten it down more, don't worry. Not like that again. Not more from the top. You have a bump.
I'm liking this one.
Yes.
That would improve it. It just, no, it's just on the side. I'll put any angle on that.
We've had that. Not twice yet.
There's only one, there's three of them.
I'll put this on my
Calibrate where the light to get decimal of a degree, so you can actually get fine if you get it refined angles of degree. So if you want to refine it even further, so maybe that's something to work on as well.
The other idea we had with measuring angles is using the BBC microbit. We looked at downloading a program onto it that would then tell us the exact angle. We didn't get time because we had to figure out how to fit the microbit and the battery pack inside just such a small aeroport. But in the future we are looking at.
But you did experiment with the microbit, didn't you?
we tried to get the coding working.
Yeah, you had problems with the coding, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because you downloaded, if you could get it working in one way, couldn't you? But in another way, it didn't work or
It
something?
would tell us if it was upright or if it was facing down.
Yeah, so we were on the wrong axis, I think. We were going that way instead of forwards and backwards, which is what we need for this.
So with the microbit, does that mean more work to find it? Do you think you'd be able to solve that?
Possibly.
We
Yeah.
can look into it, yeah.
So that's something as well for the future.
You've got a question with this stuff?
How you divided the work? Everybody was doing everything, or did you develop some roles during the project? So
It was just, I think it was just everyone does, looking at what jobs are free and then just moving on from there. So everyone's done a bit of everything, I think, when it comes up to it.
Yeah, we didn't really say.
Yeah, we didn't
we're
have
gonna do
specific
this,
jobs, did we?
It
Yes.
was more of a, someone's got to do this. You do that.
Did you find that you had skills that you didn't know you had? Or you had ideas that you didn't think you'd ever come up with? You know, have you learned something about yourself?
There was a lot of ideas that I think we all have thought of different ideas and then combining them, and a lot of them didn't work. So like with the Jara's reservoir for smoke, that completely didn't work, but then we just moved on from that with different ideas.
It's a shame that didn't work. This went wrong.
Yeah, a lot of effort went into that, didn't
Yeah,
there?
it can be a bit frustrating when you spend an hour drilling, but then it doesn't quite work. But yeah.
But that's science and engineering, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you try these things sometimes, and you have to have a rethink. Don't you? Yeah.
But I wondered, did all the students all together find out things about themselves, like, for example, like, really you'd like to give up, or really you're the sort of person who doesn't give up, or, you know, you actually are enjoying the challenge, or you're, you know, so all those things about yourself that it's good to know, because that sort of gives you advice on to what sort of job to go to in the future. So I was just wondering, did you find things like that about yourself? Anybody? Any of the students? Or are you all as good as you all thought you were? Or are you better than you thought you were?
I think we all got frustrated when something didn't work, which
Yeah.
actually made us work harder
Yes.
to then make it.
Looking to improve it. And,
Yeah, as soon as something isn't working, we're trying to because we all wanted to work, we're all then trying to.
Yeah.
So that's good, so then you found you weren't quitters, you know,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah.
Does it encourage you to go into a career, future career for engineering or science? What about you guys from Salisbury? Does it encourage you to go into something from science career?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I think some of them already said anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, it didn't put them off.
What about the Spanish students? Do you think are they more keen or yes?
Yes, I want to do the science.
You would say. One of the things that they mentioned earlier was about having Professor Harry Marsh in, and now that they're working with marshals over in the UK, we've got a national scheme called the STEM Ambassadors. I don't know if it's in any other country, but back in 2002, Lord Sainsbury decided that in order to encourage more young people to study science, technology, engineering, mathematics, which we now call STEM, as you know, the best way to do it would be to bring in people who are already working in those fields, whether it be from universities or from companies and from businesses. And so he set up this volunteer scheme that anybody working anywhere could sort of ask their company time out to work with schools. And it turned out that they originally said if we could have 11,000 of these throughout the UK, 11,000 STEM ambassadors to inspire and encourage young people, wouldn't that be great? But within about 4 months that 11,000 target had been surpassed, and there are now almost 40,000 of these volunteers throughout the UK who are ready and willing to work with schools. Obviously they've still got their day-to-day jobs to do, but what happens is the schools can sort of ask, could you come and help us, like in this case, could you come and help, we're doing this sort of wind tunnel project, and then they'll sort of say, yes, we could come on such and such a day, such and such a time, and they come, and then you're getting all that expert information coming in as well as sort of meeting people that maybe you didn't think they'd be the sort of people who would be engineers or technologists or whatever. So this is a sort of good breakdown of stereotypes and good role models out there, and that's a scheme that's worked really well in the UK, and obviously certainly this team have benefited from that.
How did you choose this topic?
How do we choose?
It was told by a teacher, or
No,
it was a good decision,
I think
or
we kind of
somebody
just-
wants to do it?
We kind
or
of
the
talking
other
about
one?
it, and then
Yeah.
We came
We
on
showed
a
us
couple
that
of
we had
ideas.
the wind tunnel,
Yeah.
and we kind of decided we wanted to do something with the wind tunnel
Yeah.
because
What was the other things you were looking at? You looked at hydrofoils as well, wasn't you?
Hard falls
Oh,
down.
yeah.
And there was something else, wasn't there? A couple of other things, I can't remember now, so long ago. You looked at hydrofoils as
at
well.
one point I was thinking about doing just the shape of the aircraft in general, not the wing, but I
Yeah.
think then we would have decided that we wouldn't get that this one.
I suggested maybe train designs, didn't I?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's
We were always doing aerodynamics, we always wanted.
Yeah.
I think because we had the wind tunnel in school, it made sense to do that.
Yeah.
We were quite interested in.
I know it was built about 3 years ago. It's never been used. So it's sitting there, so it's the first time they used it. So that's really good.
How is it meet with your curriculum? How is it meet, this project meet, learning outcome of this project meet with the curriculum?
They meet once or two. Recently it's been twice a week to try and conclude this project. But then it was just once a week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And these are students part of my engineering class, got 2 engineering classes, and I just wanted a small group, so I just invited a few of them along. I think many more will want to join on now, seeing, it's good they've been so enthusiastic about it. But I basically left it up to them. They've sort of steered it, the direction and the learning. They've steered their own learning with this problem solving.
So Stevie was asked about, is it part of the curriculum? It's not. This is
No.
beyond the curriculum.
No, it's not part of the curriculum.
It's beyond the-
It's independent, that's why it's at lunch times. So they bring their lunch along, and they one lunchtime a week.
Yeah.
Who made the wind tunnel? Who made it? The wind
It was made by a technician, former technician, part-time technician, with some students that have now left. Yeah, we're about 3 years ago. It's about 3 years. Yeah. Yeah. So I think some plans they got off the internet or something. Decided to build it. So it's worked out.
So the 2 things we have to do now is have a group photograph, and Steve tells me we need to do that before school closes at 3, is it?
Well, some students, it really starts to get busy about just after 3 o'clock. Then the bells go at 3:05, then everyone just will flood out. So we need to do it before, ideally, have them taken by 3.
Okay. So maybe we should do that now.
Okay.
So what we do is, I think the best place to have it taken apparently is at the front of the school where we all come in, and we've got a nice banner somewhere which we're going to, is in my car apparently, and so we're going to get that and do that large group photograph.